6 seasons and a movie. Now that we know for certain the Community movie is underway, this iconic quote will no longer be relegated to an inside joke.
Things have a certain structure to them, you know? If we stray from it, we're weird. If we stick to it, we're boring.
Yeah, but isn't...
It's time for us to go back to Greendale Community College. One of Western television's most critically acclaimed meta-comedy series is expected to return on the big screen with a 2023 movie release. We figured we'd celebrate our own way by going through some fun facts about our ensemble cast of lovable, albeit mentally unstable friends and the creator behind them, Dan Harmon. Yep, that Dan Harmon. Enrolling in college has never been this chaotic before, and for good reason. How many TV shows can you name that have been cancelled, revived, and had their original creator replaced, only to bring that very same creator back? And that's not even the interesting part. Community's inception was as unusual as the show itself, with Dan Harmon getting inspiration from his very own experiences at Community College. Why unusual? Well, he only attended college in order to save a downhill relationship with his then girlfriend by, learning Spanish with her? Does that sound a bit familiar? Indeed, if you're a die-hard Community fan, you may remember that the gang's first class as a study group was a Spanish course. Each season has the group taking a different class, which alludes to an underlying theme. Naturally, the first season has Spanish because it's all about the group learning to communicate with each other. It all starts to make sense when you look at season 2 and 3's anthropology and biology classes as subtle signs of how the group is slowly growing into a tight-knit, community. Of course, one that struggles to evolve, hence the biology class part. Season 4 took this further by featuring a history class, as the entire season is based around the characters reflecting on their past and developing as, semi-stable human beings. With that said, the little side note about the ex-girlfriend is only part of the whole picture. Dan Harmon has also mentioned how his time at Community College was spent alongside a quote, group of knuckleheads with whom he had very little in common but grew extremely attached to in the long run. Sounds a lot like Jeff Winger's character, which should not be surprising. After all, Harmon based aspects of Jeff around himself, namely his egotism. Luckily, Jeff isn't the only one who's in the spotlight, as the fan favorite, lovable, and socially awkward character of Abed Nadir had his fair share of real-life influence as well. In fact, Harmon based Abed on his colleague of the same name, Abed Geet, who actually auditioned to play the part of Nadir, only to end up losing to actor Danny Pudi. Ouch, talk about ironic. Imagine losing the audition for a character based around you.
When I squint, you look like a circus clown.
But wait, that wasn't the only what-if scenario. Chevy Chase's bigoted and insensitive character, the eccentric multimillionaire Pierce Hawthorne, was this close to being played by a certain other elderly gentleman, none other than famed actor Patrick Stewart. We can't say that we're disappointed by the final casting choice, but we also can't help but wonder how the show would have gone if Captain Pickard of all people made offhand comments about Troy and Abed's, cultural heritage? Are your thoughts as deconstructed as the show's plot? The real-life parallels don't just boil down to the creative storyboarding process. Community regularly throws in meta jokes and deep references to basically whatever it can get a hold of. In the case of Abed's character, there was a plot point in the show where he talks about being featured on ABC's Cougar Town, a show whose name alone can probably give you an idea of what it's about. Nevertheless, this wasn't some random, off-the-wall gag, as Danny Pudi actually played a character on the Cougar Town. We can only imagine the awkwardness that sprung from that little tidbit. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Community. What is your favorite fact about the making of the show? It can be anything from a subtle nod, a deep cut, or even an incredibly well-kept inside joke. Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section and mention some fun facts you know. Remember to like the video and subscribe if your factoid-loving mind can't get enough of TV and movie trivia. This Rhino is also aspiring to go to college, hopefully one with saner people, so your support may just help out a bit. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.